Hello friends, my name is Masood. Today we shall discuss about topic the digital payment security and fraud prevention. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in banking industry and fintech and you want to learn about it. So let's start, friend. Friend, we all knows that digital payments nowadays very common, and many people nowadays are using mobile applications, internet banking to transfer funds to your friends, to your colleagues, to your family members. And very important aspect here is the security of the payment which we are performing. Like, what is the security of the transaction which we are performing? Either there are concerns or not. So friend, obviously there are concerns about the digital payment security, and there are hackers, there are malicious attacks man in the middle, and they are basically performing different fraud activities and different unethical things. So basically friend, first we have to discuss that what is the security and the fraud prevention. Friend, digital payment security and fraud preventions are critical aspects of the rapidly evolving landscape of online transactions. As digital payments become more prevalent, ensuring the security of transactions and preventing fraud has become a top priority for business, financial institutions, and consumers. And many banks nowadays are moving towards the security based solutions and fraud prevention solutions. And nowadays, these types of solutions are very popular. So, first, we discuss about digital payment security. Encryption. Friend, all communication between the user, the merchant, and the payment processor should be encrypted using secure protocols like, for example, HTTPS. This ensures that sensitive information such as credit card, debit card remains confidential during transmission. Like, friend, whenever we are performing a transaction, for example, you are at a grocery store and by using your card, bank card, credit card or debit card, you are performing a transaction through a POS. So the data which is transferring from your from the POS to the banking host, all the data will be encrypted so that no one can hack that data. Then tokenization. Tokenization replaces sensitive data like, for example, credit card number, debit card number with unique tokens. Even if a hacker intercepts the token, it is useless without the corresponding key. This adds an extra layer of security to digital payments for him as well. So friend, and digital tokenization is also a very good factor. Then multi-factor authentication or MFA. Friend, multi-factor authentication requires users to provide more than one form of identification before completing a transaction. This could include a password, fingerprint, or a one-time code sent to a mobile device or other biometric factors. Like, for example, multi-factor means that one factor is the login and login credential, for example, user ID and password. Along with user ID and password, nowadays we have to enter a one-time password as well. Like, for example, a OTP will be sent on your mobile or an email, and you have to enter that one-time password or OTP as well. One-time password or fingerprint scan normally. So all those factors are basically adding additional layer of authentication. Then secure socket layer or SSL certificate. Websites and applications involved in digital payments should have valid SSL certificate. SSL encrypts data transmitted between the user's browser and the server, preventing man in the middle attack. Like, for example, you have entered something on the form and it will be transmitted from the browser to the server. So between that the like your browsers your data transferring from your browser to the server, it is encrypted using the SSL certificate. Then device authentication means verifying the identity of the device used for the transaction adds an extra layer of security. This can include checking the device fingerprint, geolocation, or other identifying features. Normally, friend, many times it happens that many merchants nowadays impose that, for example, that particular POS should only be used only in that particular location. If it is used outside that location, it will be it will be stopped and no one can perform the transaction. So it is called as a concept of a geolocation. Then end-to-end encryption, ensuring that data is encrypted from the point of entry, user input, to the final destination. Payment processor prevents unauthorized access to any point of transaction process. So that means the data is completely, or you can say end to end, is encrypted. Secure APIs means application programming interfaces plays a crucial role in facilitating transactions between different systems. Ensuring that APIs are secure helps prevent unauthorized access and data breaches. For example, bank has a particular data of customer and any third party want to use that data. So what bank can do, bank can expose an API, application programming interface, to the third party vendor, and API, through this API it is a completely secure way. No one can no other than the vendor cannot access the data, and it is totally secure and seamless. Then fraud prevention means machine learning and AI. Implementing machine learning algorithms and artificial intelligence can help detect patterns and anomalies indicative of fraudulent activities. These systems can continuously learn and adapt to new fraud tactics. By using the fraud activity machine learning, you can detect the anomalies as well. Then behavioral analytics means analyzing user behavior helps establish a baseline for normal activity. Deviations from these baselines, such as unusual spending patterns or login times, can trigger alerts for potential fraudulent activities. Then real-time transaction monitoring means real-time monitoring of transactions allows for immediate detection of suspicious activities. Automated systems can flag or block transactions that deviate from established norms. Geolocation tracking means monitoring the geographical location of transactions helps identify unusual patterns. For instance, a transaction made in a location far from the user's typical spending area might be flagged for review. Biometric authentication means biometric methods such as fingerprint or facial recognition provide an additional layer of security by ensuring that the person initiating the transaction is the authorized user. Transaction velocity checks. Monitoring the speed at which transactions occur can help identify fraudulent activity. Unusually high transaction volumes in a short period may indicate a compromised account in that case. Then education and user awareness. Educating users about common phishing tactics, secure password practices, and the importance of protecting personal information can reduce the likelihood of falling victim to fraud.